Simple question. I'm not sure the answer's simple.
Yeah, go on.
This is something I get asked all the time. How long is an employer expected to wait?
Actually, if you just let me look it up, I'll tell you the precise length of time.
It's the piece of string thing. Isn't it?
I think what we should probably do as well, I don't know if we can have a swear jar sort of on the desk, but maybe every time I find myself saying, well, it depends.
Reasonable.
Yeah, it depends on what's reasonable. It depends on all the circumstances of the case. But that's the way employment law works. And there isn't a clear answer as to how long your absence needs to be before you can start thinking about dismissal. As I say, you do need to be looking forward to how long is someone going to be absent. You're not just punishing them for how long they've been absent. But it's going to depend on the kind of employer you are. It's going to depend on the size and resources that you've got as an employer. It's going to depend on the impact of the absence. So what is the result of this person being off sick? Are you having to hire in an agency worker to cover, or other people working overtime? Can you say what the cost is of this absence? What's the impact on the business?
And presumably in terms of cost, we're looking at things like 4 weeks paid holiday every year, administrative hassle of keeping the employee on the books. Are there any other costs?
Well, it may be that simply not being able to replace the employee, because just because you've got someone on long-term sickness doesn't mean that necessarily you can just recruit a replacement to take their place. If you're in public sector, you've got very strict rules on headcount. You may be governed by sort of corporate rules about what your headcount can be, and you can't just have someone sitting on the books on long-term sickness absence. So you've got to be able to look at what is the impact of this on the business. When does it become reasonable for us to say, do you know what, we simply can't hold this job open any longer for this person. We've got to do something about it. And that's going to vary. One indication is often the way contractual sick pay works. So very often the culture of an organisation in terms of what level of absence it accepts is indicated by the way in which it offers sick pay. Some people, it's standard statutory sick pay. Other people will provide a certain period of contractual sick pay. In some public sector organisations, you'll get 6 months full pay, 6 months half pay. And that gives you some indication of the kind of absence the employer is envisaging happening without someone being dismissed. So that's a reasonably good guide, I think.
Karen, anything to add to that?